Unbreakable, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, is a 2000 psychological thriller that explores the nature of human potential and the concept of heroism. The film opens with a devastating train accident where David Dunn, played by Bruce Willis, emerges as the sole survivor, miraculously unscathed. This event sets the stage for a series of mysterious occurrences that lead David to question his life and purpose. Throughout the movie, David is portrayed as an everyman, struggling with a failing marriage and a lack of direction. The film's dark, atmospheric tone is established early on, with Shyamalan's signature use of long takes and muted colors, which contribute to the film's suspenseful and introspective mood. As the plot unfolds, David encounters Elijah Price, played by Samuel L. Jackson, an eccentric comic book art dealer with a rare condition that makes his bones extremely fragile. Elijah, who has been searching for a person with superhuman abilities, believes that David might be the one he has been looking for. He theorizes that if he can exist on one end of the spectrum with extreme frailty, there must be someone on the opposite end who is virtually unbreakable. Elijah's obsession with comic books and superheroes finds a real-world manifestation in David, whom he begins to mentor, urging him to explore his latent abilities. This relationship forms the backbone of the narrative, as Elijah becomes both an ally and a catalyst for David's self-discovery. Throughout Unbreakable, David begins to test the limits of his newfound abilities, which include incredible strength and a heightened intuition that allows him to sense the criminal intentions of others merely by touching them. One of the film's most gripping sequences involves David's saving a family from a home invasion, cementing his role as a reluctant hero. This pivotal moment is a turning point for David, as he finally accepts the possibility that he is different and perhaps destined for something greater. The film cleverly juxtaposes David's emerging heroism with his everyday struggles, highlighting the internal conflict between his desire for a normal life and the responsibility that comes with his gifts. The relationship between David and his son Joseph is also a significant element in the film. Joseph idolizes his father and is the first to believe in his superhuman abilities, which adds an emotional depth to the story. In one tense scene, Joseph attempts to prove his father's invincibility by pointing a loaded gun at him, convinced that David cannot be harmed. This intense moment underscores the themes of faith and skepticism that run throughout the movie, as David grapples with the reality of his powers and their implications for his family. The dynamic between David and Joseph adds a layer of personal stakes to the narrative, making David's journey of self-discovery not only a quest for identity, but also a means to maintain his bond with his son. The film's climax reveals a shocking twist that recontextualizes the entire story. In a chilling revelation, Elijah confesses to orchestrating several catastrophic events, including the train wreck that David survived, in his quest to find someone with superhuman abilities. This revelation casts Elijah as the film's true antagonist, driven by a twisted sense of purpose and a desperate need to validate his own existence. The twist is a hallmark of Shyamalan's storytelling style, subverting audience expectations and adding a layer of complexity to the narrative. Unbreakable concludes with David finally accepting his role as a hero, but the moral ambiguity of Elijah's actions leaves viewers questioning the nature of good and evil. The film's exploration of these themes, combined with its unique take on the superhero genre, has cemented it as a thought-provoking entry in Shyamalan's filmography. Few people realize that Unbreakable, directed by M. Night Shyamalan and released in 2000, was initially conceived as a trilogy. Shyamalan had envisioned a three-part series revolving around the character David Dunn, portrayed by Bruce Willis. However, due to the film's mixed critical reception at the time, the trilogy concept was shelved. It wasn't until many years later that the story continued, with Split in 2016 and Glass in 2019 completing the trilogy. This extended narrative arc was not apparent to audiences during the initial release, making the eventual continuation a surprising revelation for fans. Behind the scenes, Shyamalan's meticulous attention to detail is evident in the film's unique visual style. The director employed a specific color palette to differentiate between the characters. For instance, Samuel L. Jackson's character, Elijah Price, is associated with the color purple, highlighting his enigmatic and regal persona. Meanwhile, David Dunn is often surrounded by shades of green, symbolizing his connection to nature and life. This deliberate color coding extends throughout the mauve, i.e., subtly influencing the audience's perception and adding depth to the storytelling. Among the many Easter eggs scattered throughout Unbreakable, one of the most intriguing is the comic book store scene. Here, Shyamalan pays homage to the comic book genre by incorporating real-life comic book covers and artwork into the background. These details not only ground the film in a realistic setting, but also serve as a nod to the graphic novel inspirations behind the story. Additionally, the film's title itself is a clever play on words, referencing both David Dunn's superhuman resilience and the fragile nature of Elijah Price, who suffers from a rare osteogenesis imperfecta condition. Psychologically, Unbreakable delves into the realm of identity and self-discovery, posing profound questions about one's purpose and potential. The film explores the concept of invulnerability and vulnerability, not just in a physical sense, but also emotionally and psychologically. David Dunn's journey is a classic hero's quest, where he grapples with understanding his unique abilities and the responsibilities that come with them. This internal conflict resonates with audiences, as it reflects the universal struggle of discovering one's true self and embracing one's capabilities. Upon its release, Unbreakable was ahead of its time, laying the groundwork for the modern superhero genre that dominates cinema today. While it didn't receive the immediate acclaim that some of Shyamalan's other works did, its impact has grown significantly over the years. The film's realistic approach to superhero mythology and its emphasis on character-driven storytelling have influenced numerous filmmakers, contributing to the evolution of the genre. Its legacy is further cemented by the eventual completion of the trilogy, which brought renewed attention and appreciation for the original film. In conclusion, Unbreakable is a film that continues to captivate audiences with its intricate storytelling, symbolic use of color, and psychological depth. Its behind-the-scenes secrets and hidden Easter eggs enhance the viewing experience, making it a rich subject for discussion and analysis. The film's exploration of identity and the superhero narrative has left a lasting impact on the genre, proving that even stories that start with humble beginnings can eventually become iconic. As listeners tune into your podcast, these intriguing aspects of Unbreakable are sure to spark curiosity and provide a fresh perspective on a film that has become a cult classic over the years.